for this particular stream, I see that I have 2 likes. Thank you so much. The issue where, well, actually there's several issues, but the issue where I'm having essentially 2 chat windows, that is going to be because I'm putting a copy of the chat window directly onto the stream that you all are seeing in case YouTube takes away the chat, which it is prone to do whenever you go in and you edit your live stream. I don't know if you all have tried to edit your live streams, like maybe you're going to trim off the first 5 or 10 minutes, or in some case, half of your stream where nothing's going on. So once you do that, it removes the chat replay, the little box that you should see normally. So when you have your chat box installed in OBS, it will never go away. So you'll still be able to see everyone's chat talking to you. Although for some reason it looks kind of blurry to me. You all let me know. I mean, I have old lady eyes. Let me know if you have a problem seeing, maybe it's pixelated or something over here on the left side chat. I can see it, but sometimes it looks like it's going blurry. Now, I see the right side chat just fine, but of course that's, YouTube doing that directly. So how are you guys doing? I've gone a wee bit crazy with OBS. I have even developed a pimple overnight because of the stress level trying to figure all this stuff out. But I mean, it's recording, so hey, that is a plus. I do have my trusty Diet Coke here that I'm going to go ahead and open up while I'm waiting to see if anyone hops on here with me. If I don't have anyone, I'm just going to go ahead and start talking because I don't really want to take a long time just to wait for anyone to show up. So delicious. I tried to fix my hair a little bit better today. Let's see if anyone has tweeted me here. Oh, it looks like. Oh, okay. Hey, no problem. If you can't make it, that's okay. Janine, you're so funny. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That's okay. Yeah. She's so funny. She's like, I'm at work. I can't do it. All right. So it may just be me, guys. I don't know. Let me go over here while I'm still waiting and share this lovely thing here. There's that. And let me get the link again. There it is. I keep forgetting to put this on my personal wall and stuff. I don't think any of my friends and family, well, I mean, I take that back. I did have 2 pop in for me, but I don't think they're really interested in OBS tips. But you never know. They may just be interested in talking to me, the crazy Monica here. All right, so now I'm going to copy this whole thing and post it to my personal wall. There we go. Lovely. Let me go into the other group. I had a gal, actually I had 3 that mentioned in my El Paso Artisans and Beaters and Crafters group that they were interested in some of the topics that we're talking about here on the Crafty Creators channel. So I'm going to come and do that. Copy and paste it over here for them to be able to see as well. And my Monica Dockery professional page might also be interested in this topic. Some people, I mean, there are several people that don't care anything about OBS or recording for YouTube or anything like that. But if you're like me, You may not be interested in it right now, but it could become useful for you later. So I'll just share it everywhere. How about that? All right, I think I have this posted everywhere. Whoops, stay on this page. All right. There it is. 'Tis everywhere. I think OBS actually, even though I upgraded my computer, it has slowed down some of my flipping back and forth on different tabs here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tabs open. I mean, that's not a whole lot of tabs to have open, especially after a PC upgrade that I just did for it to kind of slow, but I can tell a difference. All right. So it's there. I'm trying to get back to the YouTube Crafty Creators Facebook page. Yay, there we go. What do y'all think about my kitty cat thumbnail? I had a wee little bit of fun last night making that because it sort of looks like Willie the kitten. Not quite, but sort of. All right, so I'm out of there. I'm going to get back over here to the YouTube page. It says I've got 2 people watching. I think one of those may be me. Oh, now it says I've got 5 people watching. So we will see. We will see. And let me clear out of this screen. I may leave this screen up. Ooh. All right, I'm just going to flip back over to OBS. It looks like the chat box is just fine. So I'm gonna leave it so that I don't have to worry about messing anything up. Woo! Boy. It's still going to take the first 10 to 15 minutes for me, apparently, to get everything operational, regardless of, thinking I have everything together or not. All right. I hear Willie downstairs playing with his cat toys, so if you hear a bunch of tinkling bells and everything, I promise that's not me. It's my little kitten, Willie. Put some lotion on here. Uh-oh. Somebody's texting. Oh, Stephanie, thank you so much. No, that's okay. Yeah. Yeah, Janine, she's not able to come either, so I understand. I know people work. People work during the day, and it may be your lunch break. Like it's 12:30 here, or ish. It's 12:45 here, so that might be lunchtime for normal folk here in the El Paso area or the Mountain Time. That's where I'm at. If you have already had lunch or whatnot, you're probably ending out your work day, or maybe if you're in the California, I guess Pacific time zone, you may just be about to have your lunch, because I think it might be 11:45 there. I'm not sure. I can't remember if I'm 1 hour or 2 hours different from Pacific or not. I think I'm 2 or 3 hours different from Eastern time, maybe 1 hour from Central time. So, gosh, I don't know. I can't keep up with all that stuff. I know I've talked about that before in some of my other streams, but all these time zones, I can barely keep up with myself. All right, so it doesn't look like I may have anybody here initially. They may come up. I had 3 people to... What? Oh, that's okay. Yeah, Stephanie, you're cool. I had a few people to tell me that they'll try to pop in here and there, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. And then that way, if you have any questions on something that I've already covered here at the beginning of this stream, then you can just watch it in the replay when it becomes a video at YouTube. So if you've watched the previous million OBS tests that I have ran, I actually have been working on OBS since last week. And that's how I figured out how to do this handy dandy ticker down here at the bottom. That's what that is called, where it's scrolling text. And I have a second ticker. Let me see if I can show you that. Let's take this one off. Now you're just seeing the text, but then I have a second one. Whoops. Wait a minute. It's not working. There. Oh, because my text did not come back on. There we go. Well, I have a second one. I think my chat box may have covered that up. Because I should have a little paintbrush over here to my left. Let me see. Oh, well, there's my animation. What do you think about that? That's one of my animations. I have different, like a little logo that I created. There's that. But this actually covers up the chat box if I keep the chat box over here at the left. So I don't think I'll be using that. I'm going to have to retweak that one a little bit. You didn't see that one, so I'll just play it. I have to keep hitting the transition button so that what I see on the left becomes live on the right, which is what you guys are actually seeing. So let me take my logo back off. Okay, let me try this one. This one is another doily, but it still covers up the top portion of the chat. So if I have more people chatting, long about, I don't know, not really midway, but what is that, 1/4 of the way down is where you'll still be able to see people chatting. So that is probably a little bit too large, unless I were to move my chat box over to the right here. Whoops, the right over here. In this section. Everything's turned around. Oh my gosh. I'm going to take the doily thing off. That's just some fun little things that you can do periodically. You don't have to leave them on your screen the whole time. I wonder why my paintbrush isn't working though. That's the part. I'm going to take that off. This is weird. Okay, so my little paintbrush ticker. If I don't want that to scroll anymore. Well, I have a ticker background with no paintbrush. So that's what this is. And then I have the text that goes on top. So immediately above that is the Crafty Creators one, like the very original one that I made. And for some reason, it is not wanting to come up. All right. Let me get, I'm gonna freak you guys out here. I'm going to flip over. I'm going to change a scene. I'm going to go over to some sparkly dots. Woo! All right. Let me see if this now. There's the text. There's the feedback. And yeah. Okay. Well, that's not really working out for me. Let me get back into my Crafty Creators. Woo! There I am. Hello, everyone. Oh, okay. So, what has happened since last night? Why, I don't know. Is my original ticker background that has the swanky paintbrush that some of you may have seen. Oh, hello, bits of my life. I think I read that right. Hi. Oh my gosh, you've come to see all of my chaos here. Thank you so much. I hope it's entertaining for you. I'm just now trying to figure out why one of my ticker backgrounds isn't working. I can get the text portion, but I can't get my original background. So I'm going to have to stick with this other background. So we'll try that. And we'll try this one. There we go. Yay! So we got it back on, but I'm missing the paintbrush. I don't know what happened to it. I guess I'll have to re-upload it. Oh, how big is the craft room? It's not big enough. Is that a good answer? I think this is a 10 by 12 room. So, excuse me, it's a little bit smaller than the house that I had back in Yuma. And boy, I can tell. And I've got a lot more stuff than I did when I was in Yuma. So I'm really crowded. In case you can't tell by the menagerie of chaos that you see behind me. I hope you can hear me all right. I did a test earlier and it came up. I could hear it for half a second. So we'll see. Do you have a craft room? If so, how large is your craft room? Should I be jealous? Oh my goodness. Willie the kitten is over here pawing at the door, so I may have to let him in. I may have to let him break in on the live stream. I have so many different projects. Like right now, I'm supposed to be making a few more rainbow loom bracelets, and I have that kind of set up off here to the side. But I've got some stuff down on the dining room table, which is downstairs, because I've run out of room up here, where I'm going to be making a lot of pearl, like illusion necklaces again. I have a wedding. Well, I don't have a wedding. One of my sparkly shoppers has a wedding coming up, and so she's ordered some of my illusion necklaces. So I have to make up a whole bunch. I think I have 15 for her bridal party, and then I have another order for 5. So I'll be doing 20 of those all at one time. So I'm just going to set it up down there on the dining room table like an assembly line and put them all together. That ought to be fun. I do enjoy making those, though. Those are pretty cool. They're pretty fun. They're like this is the white pearl version. Can you see? Ooh, wait a minute. Where's the camera? Oh gosh. I can't get in focus. There we go. That's the white version. And I have different colors and things. It's got some of the glass pearls and a mix of crystals. So we'll be making some pretties. Yes. Well, it doesn't make a whole lot of money, I'll have to tell you, but it's still fun, and I enjoy teaching classes and things around town as well, so that's interesting. I don't know if you guys can see the little pop-ups that my notifications keep coming up over here to the far right. I don't see them popping up here on the replay screen, so hopefully you're not being bombarded with little pop-up notifications. If you are, please let me know, bits of my life. Let me know if you are. So I had several people to message me and tell me that this is not a good time for them because they are either at work or they are somewhere else during their lunch break and they can't get online here. So I'm just going to go ahead and talk about the OBS discoveries that I made, really most of them last night, but I wanted to try to get some of the stuff that I had been working, like this ticker down here that you're seeing, kind of give some of that information here. I don't know that I'll be able to flip over to, because I am in a Google Hangout, but because the Google Hangout is actually reversing the picture that you're seeing, so the chat box would be on the other side versus what you actually see at YouTube. It's very confusing. I may try that, and you, if you're still here with me, you can let me know what you're actually seeing, and that will be more helpful than me waiting for this to become a finalized video and having to replay to watch it myself. Oh, hi, Rebecca. How are you? Thank you so much for stopping by. Did you learn how to make that necklace on your own, or you went to a few classes? No, I made it on my own. And I actually have a video of me making, I think it's the teal necklace and a multicolored version of the necklace. But I just haven't edited the footage yet. So that's on my to-do list. I will be posting that at my Sparkle by Monica channel, though. Here at Video, the Crafty Creators, it's more about the channel support for fellow handmade artists and performers and things of that nature that want to kind of network, pick each other's brains about, you know, whatever issues they're facing with their YouTube channels or their art in general, and then trying to film and post and all of that stuff. And these live streams, they've not been very successful yet. But I've also been trying to learn a lot. I'm not a very good live streamer, and I try to have a topic for each one. Now, as far as the Wavelength Wednesdays, I try to do an event for each day, right? So the live stream is on Wednesday, and I call it Wavelength Wednesday. And so this is where you guys are able to talk about whatever issues that you might be having with your YouTube channel. If you don't have a YouTube channel, but you are still a crafty creator and you're wanting to, maybe you're curious about starting a YouTube channel, or, you know, you want to talk to your fellow painters about whatever maybe they're challenged by or what brushes they use or whatever, this is a place that you can come and do that. And motivation, inspiration, all that good stuff, because sometimes you can be down in the dumps as an artist. Oh, you can see the info. Okay. Yay. Thank you, Bits of My Life. All right. So let me take a drink of Diet Coke here, and I'll get back into the OBS stuff. I'm actually going to I don't think either of you were here yet, Rebecca or Bits of My Life, but I was playing around with getting Spotify music on here. So if you don't mind, if you're both still here, I can't tell if anyone is still here or not. I'm going to try to play the music I had up earlier, but I got to be sure that it's non-copyrighted music. So bear with me. I'm flipped over to that Spotify channel, Woo. Which is currently blank. I may have to reload it. It's actually the app. Let's see. Okay, I'm on the non-copyrighted channel. I think it's playing. Can you all let me know if it's playing? I'm going to try to unmute it. Woo, how's that? Okay, so now both the desktop audio is playing and my microphone is playing. So you should be able to hear me talk, while at the same time in the background you should be hearing some music. Just let me know if that is the case, because from what I see, that's what should be happening. Oh gosh, I'm going to try to mute my desktop again. Uh-oh, Rebecca's saying the sound is gone. No! Is it still gone, Rebecca? I see my little desktop lights flashing. Oh, goodness. I may have just blown the whole thing up. Okay, yeah, the Blue Yeti microphone is still flashing, doing all kinds of crazy stuff every time I talk. The desktop audio is going crazy, so it's picking up the music, supposedly. I hear you loud and clear. Yay! Can you also hear the music, though, Rebecca? And if so, is the music kind of in the background low enough to where it's not distorting my voice? Excuse me. Or should I try to figure out how to turn down the music a little bit more? Turn it up? What do you think? Let me know. Because if I try to unmute my desktop again so that I'm also hearing the music, then it will put an echo, like an internal echo here between my microphone and everything. So just let me know if you get a chance. Bits of my life, I may have lost you. You may have gone bye-bye. If not, you let me know as well. Because I'm relying on you guys. If I don't hear anything back, I'll have to wait until this becomes a video and replay it. I don't need. The bad thing about using Spotify, though, is, oh, Rebecca says, turn it up, baby. So guess what? I'm going to turn it up. Here we go. It's going up. That may be too loud, but see, give that a listen and let me know. Did that do it, Rebecca? Let's see. I'm going to unmute myself. Hello. I don't know if that worked or not, but we'll wait and see if Rebecca or Bits of My Life responds to the latest turn up and see if I need to turn it up some more. What I was going to say about using Spotify, you've got to be very careful, or iTunes or any of those other places where you can have a playlist. You've got to be careful about the music that you play. Now, on this channel in particular, because I'm not monetized, it's just a new... Wow, you can hardly hear any music? Holy moly. Okay, well, I'm going to turn it up some more. Let me go up. Okay, so now here is my microphone. And it looks like the music bar is way up. So I'm going to come down here. Although it does say -40. But, ooh. Okay, so I just took it to the -35. And when I look at the Blue Yeti, when I speak, it keeps reaching a -15. Not quite into the red as far as me talking too loudly. So now try that one, Rebecca, and see. I guess we lost Bits of My Life. I'm so sorry. Thank you for stopping by, though. Let me know how that one works. I'm really shocked that I have to turn it up that much, though. It still says it's playing something. I have no idea what it's playing. But anyway, you have to have this non-copyrighted music, especially if your channel is monetized. So that's like the numero uno thing to worry about. And there are several different ways that you can apparently get your music installed if you're using OBS Studio. But several of those ways include having to download like plugins or some sort of a file. I would prefer if I could have a playlist and then be able to use that in, I forget what they call it here. Like if I were to add a source and go into media source, then I could call that, whatever I wanted to and make it go find that media source, like the file that I would have the playlist in. That's what I would like to do, but apparently it also involves several other aspects of doing, I don't know, like a third way to have your microphone. I don't know. It was just really complicated. So I went the Spotify route today. I may try to do one of the alternatives. I don't really trust a lot of music services though, because even though if you click non-copyrighted music playlist, you don't know what music is going to be in that playlist unless you've listened to it all the time, but then they can also update it and change it all the time. So I don't want to be playing music, especially since I'm having to mute my desktop so I'm not hearing the music and getting distracted by that with what I'm speaking about. And then have it be playing music that's got a lot of curse words or something, because I don't really like that. Or, a bunch of hip hop music that is loud and crazy, or heavy metal music that's loud and crazy. And that's not my style of music. So that's the thing I worry about, getting a non-copyright music playlist on someplace like Spotify or iTunes. If they can change that playlist at any time and I'm not ever notified about it. So maybe I have listened through the playlist and I know all the songs at that particular time, but then they change it. So that's a little worrisome. Now, I do like the Music Unleashed playlist that they have, but it's only via their YouTube channel. So the way that I would have to do that, because I love his music, is I would have to download each individual track that he has in his playlist, create a playlist of all of that music on my computer, and then have these alternative ways of creating my microphone separate from my desktop audio, which is all that complicated mess I was talking about earlier. And I just don't want to have to do that. So Music Unleashed, you need to get on Spotify or do something. That way I can trust the music that is going into my live stream. So I'm just a little bit worried about that. If anyone watches this later on and they have a solution for my anxiety on playing music during a stream, let me know, because it kind of freaks me out. I don't like not being able to hear what's going on, and I'm just trusting Spotify at the moment. So I'm a little bit cautious. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back into Spotify. I'm going to hit pause. And then I'm going to mute the desktop. So now that's all gone away. So there should be no more audio. It's just my voice. Oh, how thrilling that is, right? I don't know. I think I lost both Rebecca and bits of my life. Either that or my chat box died. So let me try to get... I'm going to flip over to YouTube just to see if anyone else is trying to talk. Anyone still here? Since we took off our Spotify music, I'm going to sing to you all. I don't know, but here on the YouTube screen, it says that there are still people watching. So hello, whoever you are, and thank you again for stopping by. All right, I'm going to get back over into my OBS view because it is real time. And now I'm just going to discuss... Oh, hey, Rebecca, thank you so much for sticking it out, girl. So now I'm just going to discuss some of the things that I had issues with that I did find solutions for, which I mentioned in my very last live stream test that I posted. I went ahead and made it, instead of private, I made it public so that everyone could see that I got the chat box situation figured out, which when you see this as a video, meaning that we're no longer in the stream live, you're going to see on the left the same exact chat box that you're probably still going to see on the right from YouTube when it does its chat replay, unless I wind up cutting out like the first 10 minutes of the stream, or, excuse me, maybe I cut out, a certain section. I do that split feature. The minute that you go in and edit a stream, you cease to be able to have the chat replay. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's because this is a new channel. I don't think I've used that feature over at the Sparkle by Monica channel, but Who knows? So anyway, that's something I have yet to test over there, because I'm doing these weekly streams over here at the Crafty Creators, and so that's really where I'm trying to focus the OBS and all that stuff. But I am thrilled about my ticker at the bottom with all of my little text here, because I can change that. I actually created a template for that, so that'll be cool. I can use that and change some of the aspects about what you're seeing in that ticker area for the Sparkle by Monica channel. So I'm glad I learned how to do that. There are a lot of things, though, like the chat box issue that I mentioned, where you do have to be sure that you are a public stream. Oh, I hear Willie the kitten at the door. If he starts screaming, I'm going to have to let him in here, so I'm sorry. I may have to take a kitten break here in just a second. The chat box, though, you do have to be sure that you're on the public stream. I had it on the private stream thinking that it would be able to, because I could still see the chat box and I could see what I could type, that you guys could see it, but that wasn't the case, and that's why the chat box stayed blank in the OBS. However, when I went and did a very brief public, it popped up the way it was supposed to. You do have to put in the chat URL every time you do a stream. It's not going to be the same URL. So within your sources, whatever you set up as the chat with the browser link, it's going to have to be a different link every time. So you'll have to update that before you go live every time. Just a tip on that. The other thing that I had an issue with that I actually still haven't figured out exactly is the horizontal flip from Google Hangouts. I don't know that. Well, you know what? Let me try to do. I'm gonna go over to Google Hangouts. I'm gonna hit the screen share. Let's see, entire screen or application window. I think let's go with entire screen. You want to, just to test it out. So this is kind of an issue here. I'm looking at the Google Hangouts right now, and so it's the eternal screens, and I don't know if you can see that. Let me hit transition. You know, that's not working. I'm looking at OBS right now, and I can still just see the camera. So let me go back over to Google Hangouts, and let's go into an actual screen and try this. Turn the camera off. Okay, so now the camera is off, and I want to do a screen share. All right, entire screen. Now let's see if that worked. I don't think that's working. Okay. Oops. Turn the camera off here. Yeah, you're not seeing that. All right. Woo, we're getting wild and crazy now. Let me bring the camera back. Okay. That's interesting because I didn't have that happen last night. I was able to see everything. Let me hit camera. So the camera is back. Let me go to screen share and say application window. Now here, it gives me the option to pull up either the YouTube channel, the Google Hangouts, or the OBS. So let's do, I'm going to show you the Google Hangouts. Hopefully this will show you the Google Hangouts. I don't think it's going to. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's not. Okay, let's not. That's not working. Woo! Monica! The chaos of Monica's life. Let's go application window. Man, it looks like you're supposed to be able to see it. So I'm going to go into OBS now and just try to do that. Woo! Let me go over here to YouTube and see what you guys are seeing. Are you seeing OBS? Doesn't look like it. Wow. But on the Google Hangouts now, I'm seeing it. So, oh, there it goes. So it's just delayed. All right. So here's the OBS. When I am trying to do anything like in the scene, which is what this is called, where you're looking at me. Oh, man. We've got some sources that are added in here. Now, because I am physically on top of the Google Hangouts, I'm going to have to minimize this and then get back over into OBS, because you are actually seeing inside OBS now via Google Hangouts on YouTube. So hopefully you're able to see my mouse in the sources area here. I'm going to kind of wiggle this around. Ah, thank you, Rebecca. I'm so glad that you're enjoying this. These sources are in this left-hand section besides scenes. So what you see on the screen here with me, the chat, the ticker, the text, and everything, that's called a scene. And then the individual components are the sources here to the right of that scene. So you can see I've got my webcam that is directly in front of me as a source, which means that's what's doing the recording. I have the chat, and you see these little eyeballs. So if I want you to see something, such as the chat, then I have the eyeball selected. If I want to take something off, hopefully you just saw the left-hand side of OBS, the chat window went away, but I have to remember to hit transition to take it away from the right-hand side so that that completes what you guys see on YouTube or Google Hangouts being removed. So if you want something to only be on your screen briefly and not the entire time, you can take the eyeballs on and off and just remember to hit the transition button so that it comes on and off of your screen and all that stuff. So I like having the ticker play because it gives you, well, it depends on which ticker that you're playing, because you can have several different tickers, which is the text down here on the bottom. But I like having the hashtag Crafty Creators show up. I like having the website show up. And then having the scrolling information, also thanking you all for watching, which I very well do appreciate that. I know it's kind of crazy business here, but I did want to talk about this OBS stuff. I think for me, just trying to figure out the glitches of the multiple windows when you try to do like a screen share in the Google Hangouts, if you're using that as the quick connect feature within YouTube versus the encoder feature, that is a little freaky. I still haven't figured that part out. It also does that to me sometimes when I click OBS, although right now it seems to be working okay because I did it as an application window. If I want to click back over to Google Hangouts, though, I still can do a screen share, but let me see what other application it will let me share. Okay, so now it just brought me straight back. So I'm going to hit screen share again, application window, and it's just going to give me the option of the OBS or YouTube, it looks like. Yeah, so if I click on your entire screen, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to say share, and that's where it gives me the 50 million windows here, right? So I'm going to minimize that, and I'm going to start clicking around and just seeing if you guys see anything, because I was able to get that to do that last night. So let me go. Yeah, we're okay with that. Hide. Let me go into, as if I'm just on the internet, right? So it just updated on YouTube to where now I see the 50 million windows. Now it updated on YouTube to where I'm back at the OBS view. And then it should here in just a second update to where it sees me watching my YouTube page. And that's what it's doing right now. Very slowly, but there's like a million windows here. And it's almost like it's in a loop. So I'm going to click on Facebook. I'm going to show the YouTube Crafty Creators Facebook wall. You may or may, I'm flipping over here now to YouTube. I'm still not seeing it. So it's like it's looping the Google Hangouts screen share of the YouTube screen. So I don't know what's going on with that. Wanted to mention Epidemic Sound. For those that might be thinking of no copyright music, you can go to that site, but you do have to pay a fee for being able to access that music. But it is music you don't have to worry about getting a copyright strike on if you're going to be using this for your YouTube channel or any other needs. And Streamlabs is apparently another alternative to the OBS Studio that you can use, and you can actually do a lot of cool things like some animations and things like that that you want to add onto your OBS streams. I don't know that I'm going to go that route because the ticker is really, I was happy as a clam to just be able to scroll text but have like a little neat background with the paint and colors and all that stuff. Although I don't know where the second background went that had the little paintbrush, but I'll have to figure that out for the next time. But Streamlabs, I may just get in there and mess around, try to figure that out a little bit. It's streamlabs.com if you're not able to see this on your screen right now like I am. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that, get rid of Epidemic Sound, and I don't need the Facebook anymore. I do want to pull up OBS Studio. I think I had this show. I think I showed this to you guys last night in both streams, and I think it did actually show up. So hopefully you're seeing this right now. But this is the Open Broadcaster software that I'm using. I had downloaded it from Windows. Hopefully you're seeing that right now. If you're not, you can go to obsproject.com and you'll be able to see that information where you can download and tweak your settings to fit your computer and all that stuff. But you can use it for Twitch streams, Mixer, which I've never tried Mixer. I tried Twitch before and I hated it, but that was way before I even attempted this OBS Studio with it. So it would probably work a lot better for me now. And YouTube, which is, of course, how I'm using it right now. And then there's also a plugin that you're going to want to get. I believe this is from the same obsproject.com. It's called the Obs Virtual Cam. And you are going to download this plugin. That way you can have YouTube/Google Hangouts it's almost like it creates a secondary camera view, like a virtual camera, so that it doesn't give you the error message saying, hey, you can't use your Logitech C920 webcam because you're already using it on another source. Well, that's because Google Hangouts was using Logitech webcam, and YouTube was over here trying to access that same camera and giving you that error message, or vice versa. Sometimes Google would give me that message. So when you download this plugin and you activate it and everything, it attaches to the OBS software that you already have, but it gives you the option within your OBS software, if I can get that pulled back up. Hopefully, again, you're able to see this screen, but you will have in the tools area now something that says virtual cam. And all you have to do is say auto start, keep aspect ratio, and then that's it for that. However, once you have done that, once you've activated the plugin and selected those settings, like I said, you have to restart your entire computer. Otherwise, you're not going to see the OBS Virtual Cam in your list at Google Hangouts as an additional camera source to use to bypass the error. So hopefully that just helped you out some. Now I'm going to get back into Google and I'm going to say stop screen sharing. So it should pop back up to the camera view. Maybe. All right. I don't see any new text here in the chat box other than Miss Rebecca? It's coming up on 1:30. I usually try to keep these to an hour. I know that we're not going in and checking all of the little boxes and all that stuff during the live stream. What I want to do is create a video from like start to finish, because I had to research from so many different sources until I found some that I was comfortable with trying how they did it, because I'm very cautious about downloading any kind of software, any sort of plugins, anything that's like a third party resource without knowing for a fact it's not going to contain malware or some sort of virus, or attach a 50 million cookies, or whatever all that stuff is. So what I have done is very basic and very minimal, and anyone that watches this later on and they decide that they want more than the chat box or like the little logos and stuff that I was showing you earlier, or the ticker here, the music option and all that stuff. If you want more, then you're going to have to do your own research and go your own path on that. But for me, for my needs, except for the fact that I haven't added a secondary camera angle, this would work for me to teach over on my Sparkle by Monica channel, or even at Vimeo, which I now have an account at, for like an online beading classroom, jewelry making. If I wanted to do that, all I need to do now is just add a secondary camera view. So what I mean by that is, maybe instead of you seeing me here like you are right now in this large view, you would have a second, my chat box just went away. There it goes. You would have a second little box of maybe me up here smaller, but then you'll see my beading table back here. Okay, and that will be the main camera angle, where you're looking down on top of the beading table, and then you can still see and talk to me up here in a smaller little box, but I'm not taking up the whole screen. So I think that that's kind of cool, and that's the only thing I haven't tested out through this OBS process. Now, do I need fancy things like this ticker down here? No, I don't need it, but it's still pretty cool. It keeps visual engagement to have the chat box and this ticker. If there's any time where maybe I'm not able to speak and you want to take the time to actually read all of this stuff that's in the ticker, I have my website, I'm thanking you for stopping by and watching and all that stuff. I have the hashtag that we use a lot as a reminder if you want to share this on your social media and everything. And it's got some useful information in there for people maybe that just stumble upon the stream and they're like, what is all this? And maybe they're not taking the time to read the description on YouTube, where I have all the links to everything. So this is being recorded, and it's not something that I'm having to manually type into the chat box every time. And as I mentioned earlier, if I go in and edit these streams, now I have the capacity for you guys to still be able to see all of the chat that happened during the course of the stream, versus it just completely cutting that out at YouTube once I do an edit of some sort. Or sometimes they just cut off the chat, period. You might, you're not even editing your chat, but you go in and you add your end screens, or you put in some cards or something like that, and then you hit the save button, and then you go to view your stream and it says live chat is not available, or instant replay chat, or whatever their little message is not available for this stream. And that's because you've made some sort of edit or whatever, and YouTube has just taken that functionality off. So now, using OBS and having the chat box in there, you'll still be able to see who is in the chat. You won't be able to click on the little 3 dots and go visit their channel directly, but you have their channel name, and you can do it manually if you want to. And then you can just see the conversation that's happening. It's just another visual interest on that. But eventually, if I wanted to get wild and crazy, let's say I was a gamer, you gamers are awesome because you have all these things going on. You've got your score up here, you got some sort of a music situation over here, you got little icons and figures going across your screen here. If somebody subscribes to your channel, boom, you get a notification pop up over here. So it's wild. Me, I don't think I need all that stuff because one, it would distract me, which is very easy to do, by the way. I'm not gonna lie, it's very easy to distract me. I do think that having little kittens walking across my screen, like I saw one gal do over at Twitch, that's pretty cool. But I don't see the real need for me to have that, just, except for when I want to see little kittens go across the screen. But, maybe later on, who knows where my other channel might take me. Who knows where my just plain old Monica channel that I haven't used since I've had it at the creation of YouTube, period. I haven't used that for anything. I may eventually want to use that for something crazy with all this OBS and stuff. So, I don't know. We'll see. A lot of people use OBS or Streamlabs for a lot of different purposes for whatever they are interested in sharing. Like those of you that do no copyright music and you wanted to share it, I noticed there's tons of live streams that happen, and that's all you're doing is you're just playing that music from your playlist over and over and over again while people are just chatting. So there's not any visual, like you're not seeing a person talk to you, you're not being taught anything, you're not having any kind of I don't know, like visual stimulation other than whatever the picture is for the music, and you're playing that music. And a lot of people enjoy that. Then there's gamers, they're playing their game and you're seeing them do a walkthrough of their game and all that, while at the same time you're having the chat and everything. So, it depends on how flashy do you need your live streams to be, if you even do a live stream. Still kind of on the fence about doing a live stream. I don't have enough people that show up to the live streams to where I feel like it's do or die if I don't have a live stream, but I think they're fun so that I get to talk to Miss Rebecca and bits of my life, which I think she left a long time ago, but that's okay. Whoever pops in from time to time, I'm able to talk to you. So it's like having a teaching moment if we're going to be talking about jewelry making. If we're talking about OBS, like I am trying to speak about today, it gives you the opportunity to be able to ask me a question live about it. Like, hey, what do you use a live streaming service for your music or something? And then we kind of go off on that tangent of discussion. All sorts of funky things like that can happen during live streams. Some people have bad experiences where they might have trolls popping into their live streams, which thankfully I have not had that experience yet. I hope I don't have that experience. Please don't be a troll and pop in here. Unless you're the sparkly Disney kind of troll. I like those. But it's all in what you decide that you want to do. I do see the value of having live streams. For this channel in particular, the Crafty Creators channel, it will offer those that have the time available during the time that I do these live streams to come in and discuss via the chat box with their fellow creators if that is something that interests them to do. Some people, that's all that they go into live streams for, is to be able to chat amongst themselves over here in the chat box. They're not really paying attention to whatever the host is saying. And if that is something that you like, then, that's great. Some people actually don't even care what's going on in the chat box. They are interested in whatever the host is talking about or what they're showing, what they're demonstrating. So, if you have all this other flashy stuff going on, it might not be something that is appealing. We love you. You could never have any trolls. Oh, girl. I don't know. I've heard some terrifying stories from, I don't know, there's several people actually, but now their live streams are very popular. And I think with all the competing groups and things, with all this small YouTube creator channel business that's been happening since February, I think there's like whole groups of them that target certain channels if they start feeling like that channel is going to get more popular than their channel or something, or their group or whatever. And that's where I've seen people really get upset and talking about their experiences with trolls. So I hope I don't ever have that issue. I don't anticipate that I will, because this group is not really set up for that type of channel support. I mean, I am offering channel support here, but it's more for those that are, that, you're digging a little bit deeper for meat of, the behind the scenes type of thing and creating your art. Struggles like this discussion today, talking about my crazy stressed out experience over trying to figure out all this OBS stuff. And I haven't really even tapped the, what is that? Tap the iceberg or touch the iceberg or whatever that saying is. As far as everything that OBS can do. But I feel like I've got quite a lot because you can see the chat box and you can see a bunch of text going down there and it's pretty and colorful. So I feel like I have just really figured out something. And I've played some music. Maybe I'll have to see on the replay if it wound up being too loud once I turned it all the way up, because I think I may have blasted people out. But I don't have a problem yet with trolls. I hope I don't have a problem with trolls. And maybe if a troll shows up, maybe I can persuade them like I had to do in my banking days. We would get customers come into the bank with all sorts of problems and they were all irritable and hateful. And sometimes I could be hateful myself. Because that was the days when I was working 4 jobs and trying to go to school. So, if I didn't want to fool with somebody cussing me out over asking for a driver's license, I would just have to look at them after, they'd say a couple of words and be like, you know what? I don't have to listen to that. So let's really talk about what the problem is here. It's not me asking for your driver's license, okay? It's the fact that your account is overdrawn, right? That's the real issue, right? I didn't go that far. I mean, I was trying to be sweet, but maybe I can turn the trolls to the sweet, sparkly, lovable kind of trolls if I ever have them show up, because I have nothing but love and light here. But I'm too sweet. Oh, Rebecca, girl, you just don't know. If I don't have my Diet Coke, sister girl, let me tell you, sometimes I can be all cranky. But thank you for saying that. Hey, and sometimes Willie doesn't think I'm all that sweet either because I don't give him kibble whenever he wants it. He's actually getting a little gut on him, and my husband is accusing me of fattening him up like string bean. And if you remember seeing any of my videos or maybe my posts with string bean, she's the one that started out as the runt of the litter a million years ago. And I had to bottle feed her because we thought she wasn't going to make it. And now, bless her heart, she's as big as a mid-sized dog. So my husband's like, shoot, Willie will not be turned into a big portly cat like Simone or String Bean. And we call her Hogzilla sometimes because, bless her heart, sometimes she has a hard time getting around because her belly gets in the way. So Willie doesn't think I'm sweet whenever I'm refusing him kibble. But for the most part, I am. I don't know. Maybe we should ask those who really know me very well over many years and see what they think. But I wanted to come on here today and talk about this OBS stuff. Like I said, I've just tapped a little bit here with having the ticker and everything, although I do think it's an ultra cool factor. And then something else that I like about doing the chat box and the ticker for me, one, my room is ultra messy, as you can probably tell by what you see in the background. So now I have less of that space available visually. So if you have like a messy art studio or whatnot and you want to cut off a section of it, you can actually, which way am I going here? The chat box. Oh, the chat box. Wow, I can't even get my finger over there. This chat box over here. You can size it. So you can make it small like I have, or you can make it larger. So if you need to cut out a section of whatever the camera is picking up, you can do that with the chat box. So I like that. Also, with the various graphics that you use, the ticker you can control the size of. Now, the ticker, I don't think I've mentioned this yet. I made this in Photoshop, the 1920 by 780, I believe, or maybe it's 1980 by 720. I will do a video, like I mentioned later, about all the specifics involved in all these things that you see here, for you to be able to then follow a little bit better than me just blabbing here during a stream. But I have this set to a certain size parameter, which I can actually make larger or smaller depending on whatever I want visually overall from the camera view that you're seeing here. So if you have messy room, you can cut it off. I do like that. And also it just gives an extra visual element. The functionality of having the chat box is awesome, because if it goes away in YouTube, you still have it over here. Which for me, having the live streams, if I forget, oh, what did Rebecca say again? And I want to go over there and see, I can go back and think, oh, let's see, I was talking about blah, 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 blah. And it was about right here where she mentioned blah. And so I can go back and be reminded of what it is that you said instead of, oh, well, that's gone forever. So that's pretty cool. And then just having the other swanky stuff, like if I want to play music, there's actually a music scroller that, well, let me just bring it back up. So I'm going to hit play again on whatever this music is for Spotify. It's still non-copyright music. I'm going to unmute the desktop, and then I'm going to hit my music scroller that I created shortly before I did the stream, and I'm going to hit transition. Now, you probably just saw, hopefully, on the far right screen, well, I hope so, because I can barely see it here when I'm looking at it in OBS. The name of the song and the person that sings it is what popped up over there, and I have it set to do a gradient, so it kind of has a ombre effect in pink. I'm going to try to make this larger while you're looking at it here, so bear with me. I'm going to try this. I don't know that it's going to work, but we're going to try it. So I'm going to say okay, and then I'm going to hit transition, and now it's a little bit bigger. Something here I don't like is that for whatever reason I had to do the horizontal flip because the text was all backwards. So I don't know, now that you can see it on YouTube, I don't know if you're actually seeing it backwards because I had to do that horizontal flip, or if you're seeing it the correct way. And then also I don't like the font situation because it's kind of making it a little blurry. I have it on artist brush script regular as far as the font. I don't think I can make it go any bigger without it looking a little bit more blurry because it's already set on a 36. Let me try a 48. That made it a little bit better. Let me move it and hit transition again. So, I don't know, but you can do cool things like that. I can also set, like the ticker that's scrolling here on the bottom, I can set that music scroll that's up here to scroll. So instead of it just being stagnant, just sitting there, I can set that to where it'll also move. And then every time the music changes on Spotify via a plugin, now that's where it was a little bit funky. I had to download that plugin. I think it's called Snip. Every time the song changes on Spotify that's playing right now, it will change the information up here in this area. So that's pretty cool. All right. And then also, if you're playing something and somebody says, hey, what is that song? Or who sings that? Excuse me. And you don't know because it's a playlist that, you're not really, it's non-copyrighted music. So it's not like Madonna or something like that. Then it will pop up and show you guys. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Am I going to use it? Probably not until I get a little bit more comfortable with the non-copyright music and playlists and how those playlists can be changed and all that stuff. Something else too, before I end the stream, I'm kind of going a little bit over. I'm sorry. I normally only do these for an hour, but something that is also an issue with non-copyrighted music is even with music that starts out that you can use it in YouTube, at some point the artist may up and decide, I'm going to put a license requirement on that or whatever. And it then changes the permissions. So that can happen with any of these non-copyright services that you're using at any particular time. That's another thing that kind of makes me a little bit, about using music, unless you actually know the artist in particular, or you get a specific permission, like a written permission. I don't know if you just saw how it just changed the name of the song. So whatever that song is that's playing right now. Now, another bad thing is when that changed, it changes the length of text. So I'm having to hit the transition button again because I had to drag that out so that you could see the entire name, Satchmo. Okay, so that's kind of a pain. I've got to play around a little bit more with that and figure it out, but I don't know. It's still pretty cool. And the fact that I have just figured out all of this stuff is really, I guess, why the zit popped up on my forehead last night. But it's exciting because now I feel like, hey, if I want to have this ticker, if I need to have this chat box, if I want to play music, then I can do all this stuff. Or if I want to just be plain Jane, which is the quickest and fastest way to get up and running. You don't even have to use OBS Studio or Streamlabs or any of these other streaming services. You can just flat go into your iPhone, which is a lot of times the most easiest thing to do, to set up your streams and just be done with it. You don't have to fool around with putting all this fancy schmancy stuff up. So it's just personal preference, whatever you're interested in. I haven't gotten enough feedback from anyone that actually watches these replays for people that are interested in seeing all this fancy stuff. So I'm just kind of going with what I want to try and test out here at my own channel. And if anyone makes comments there after it's made, oh wow, all these all these people are tweeting, but no one is, they're not over here on the stream. Thank you so much though for retweeting. I appreciate it. But I don't know if I'm going to continue doing these types of things. If you do watch this later on and you have an opinion on all this fancy smancy stuff, let me know. I would really appreciate your feedback. That is something that I'm interested in because, not everybody wants to see all this stuff and not everybody cares to have music playing during a live stream. To some people, it can be quite distracting. Like I mentioned earlier, even for me, I have my actual computer muted so that I'm not hearing the music that you guys should be hearing, whatever this Yellow by Satchmo is, which I feel like I should know that. That sounds awfully familiar to me. But some of that could be too distracting for people, and that could cause them to not want to be on your live streams or whatever it is that you're doing. Like if I wanted to make a video and I just recorded it directly in OBS using all these cool features and stuff, then of course the chat box wouldn't be valid because then I'm not live anywhere chatting with someone. But that information might be too distracting to people and they'll leave. So you don't want to have that issue. And then again, some people may come to your stream and go, well, she doesn't have her chat box up there. She's not playing a ticker with any information down there. Or she's not got any kind of music. So this is boring. I'm going to get out of here. Or whatever the reason is. Who knows? You don't really know unless you test out things. And that's something I'll have to say, especially since starting the second channel. I'm fearful about certain aspects of things, like I mentioned about trolls earlier, just because, I don't want to have anybody hate me. But you can't be afraid if you want to do things that are outside of your comfort zone. You have to kind of go out of your comfort zone a little bit. And that's the only way really that you learn and grow. And that as an artist is the key to becoming a better artist, is to get outside of your comfort zone. So that's what I try to think of when I get involved in all these little projects that take me away from my jewelry making that I should be doing. That is what my whole purpose is for my full-time job, is to make jewelry or teach classes. But in setting up this second channel, I've kind of gotten distracted from that, but in a fun way, because I've learned OBS here. I've been using some of my Photoshop skills in order to create some of these things and graphics and things that I can use. And so for me, this has been more about fun and also a way to give back to my fellow artists, because you may be afraid of trying OBS, or maybe you have, maybe you don't want to be in front of a camera and you just are interested in some crazy lunatic talking about this kind of stuff. Who would that be, I wonder? I mean, it's been fun for me here to do this Crafty Creators channel. Now, will it ever become a big, huge channel? I'm not going to worry about that, because that's not the reason why I set this channel up. Do I want you guys to share this channel? Yes, that would be great, especially with your fellow crafty creators and people that make videos. They might find some of this information useful. I'm hoping so, because that was the point of creating this channel, so I could share some of my art marketing experience, because I have this professional marketing background in with actually making jewelry and making art via Sparkle by Monica. So I can discuss a lot of things that might be beneficial to you, even if you're not even a jewelry maker, or you're in a completely different medium than I am. It's still beneficial to you, I hope, at least. And some of this stuff, like the OBS aspect of it, you might not have any kind of need for it at all, but at least it'll be here for those that may need that information. So that's really what this channel is. That's what I'm doing here. The live streams are getting a little bit more professional in the way that I did actually have it scheduled this time. A lot of times when you do a pre-scheduled event stream, for whatever reason, YouTube may kick it off, or I may inadvertently hop on to do an impromptu live stream and it kick off my pre-scheduled one. So I'm trying to be a little bit more professional in the scheduling aspect of it. Will I always have a live stream at 12:30 every Wednesday? I may have to change it eventually. Right now I can't do the nighttime live streaming because I don't have the opportunity to spend with my husband except at night when he gets home from work. So I don't want to be up here for, an hour to 2 or 3 hours, depending on how the streams go, when he's sitting downstairs, and wanting to spend time with me, or maybe he wants to watch a movie or something. Although I would only be doing it one day a week, but still, I'm not at that level right now. And also because I've been trying to learn so much about live streaming and what I want to do, I'm more comfortable at doing it during the day. Even though some people are at work and they're not able to join me and everything, that's okay. So I guess I have blabbed on and on and on as much as possible. It's almost 2 o'clock, so I think I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here. And I need to get onto Google Hangouts in order to do that. Rebecca, thank you so much for sticking it out with me, girl. If you're even still here, you are a super woman, baby, for putting up with me. I really appreciate it. I hope this has been entertaining for you. You're always so sweet. I have no idea if, man, it's freaking me out that Google Hangouts is backwards in the view. This is really weird. And then also too, when I make this a big screen in Google Hangouts, not only is the chat box on the opposite side and all of the ticker text down here is flipped backwards, but the music now when you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to be like, she's not pointing in the right direction. What the heck is she doing? That's because when I'm looking at the Google Hangouts, the name of the song and the artist is way over here. So everything is flipped backwards. The only thing that's not flipped backwards, I guess, is like me, me and the room behind me. So why is that? I don't understand that. The visuals here that are laid on top of what the camera is seeing is flipped backwards. So whatever. But I'm on the screen where I can hit the stop. I can't see anything here on the chat. So I'm assuming either everyone is now gone or the chat box has cut me off. But if you're trying to say anything to me, Rebecca, or bits of my life, or whoever else might be here, because I can see that I've got 6 people on here. If you're trying to talk to me and I've missed you, I'm sorry. If you would please put a like on this stream if you've not already done so. And if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please feel free to do so and share to any of your crafty creative friends that might be interested in these types of crazy discussions. if they want some channel support. I am actually doing some collaborations with some people that will be coming up here in the near future between this channel and my Sparkle by Monica channel. If you're interested in any kind of topics of discussion, please feel free to leave that down in the comments, and I'll be trying to work on that as I come up with additional live streams that I do. And I guess that's it. Please share this on your social media. Try to make it to the streams if you can, so that we can have live discussions on top of, whatever the topic is that I've tried to come up with for that week. And have a craftacular day, y'all. Bye.